Stop record.
Hey guys, so I'm using VoiceOver on my phone, so that's what we heard here. But I wanted to do a video of um, demonstrating two of my most favorite Yamaha keyboards and sort of just demoing them. Right now I am sitting in front of the Yamaha DGX 660 portable grand piano. I'm in my bedroom right now, so I'm sure probably the lighting and other things are, well, there's not even really lighting in here, so I apologize for anyone who's viewing that's sighted. I'm sure the quality is probably not good, but I really wanted to just show off these two keyboards and really just, like I said, demonstrate how fabulous they are. So the Yamaha DGX 660 is a full 88 key piano. I would definitely say it should be probably restricted to home use. It can be carried around and transported, but it's going to be bulky. I've learned that the hard way already, having carried it around to various locations. I do have a gig bag that's in another room, but all that weight as I'm trying to carry it goes to the arm, so it's very, very heavy. Like I said, better to restrict it to home use. The other one that's beside it in here is the Yamaha YPG 235. Now I'll explain about that one after this one and its uses. So I'm in front of the DGX 660, as I said. I'm going to reset this because the piano itself, there we go. It does take some time to power on. I will sort of quickly go through the advantages and disadvantages of both of these digital keyboards. So obviously, the DGX 660, as most people know who have one or have read about them, are weighted keys. They're hammer action graded keys, so it really does mimic a real acoustic piano. Even though it's a digital piano, electronic piano, I think Yamaha definitely did a great job of integrating the actual feel of an acoustic piano. So now it's on. So that's the lowest A right here, all the way to the highest C, which is up there. And even just playing that, I could hear a very realistic hammer action tone hitting the string. So right there, the first thing that I'm sure people will notice when they get it is the sound of the piano. So I'm going to press middle C. So right there, that is a very realistic tone and feel. And I also have a sustain pedal hooked up. So I don't know if everybody hears that, but there's definitely a realistic reverb tone as I hold down that note. So there's a very nice after ring to it there that sort of goes on. And if I were to sort of start playing something here, this is really where you can show off the just piano sound alone on this fantastic keyboard. So that's just me noodling around a little bit on there. I mean, it's as close to an acoustic piano, I think, as we're going to get as far as sound and tone and touch. So that's the piano sound. Now, one of the really nice highlights about this is not only does it have the piano, but it also has a lot of other different tones or voices, as we call them. So we have just the regular grand piano here. And this dial that's on top allows me to just really quickly go through. And so I just selected an organ. So that's like I'd say the gospel organ tone to it. And so we have those. We also have obviously a lot of different pianos here. That's more of a rock piano, kind of more bright. You could use this for pop tunes or something like that. Or even if I wanted to do disco. You know, something like that. Kind of loud there. And then we can go forward. So actually here we have more of a echo piano. You can kind of hear a little bit of a echo to that. Now we have harpsichord, so this kind of gets into the more classical era here. I could do something with that. So right there, it's very Bach sounding, Baroque-ish. So that's the harpsichord, and I think that's also very realistic. They obviously made it a very high quality, and keep in mind, I'm playing all this right here. So this isn't just some demo that was in here. I'm playing it to show off. So after the harpsichord, we sort of have more of a honky-tonk piano here. This could be used a lot in ragtime. I love that kind of sound. So that's more of like an old, like, style 1800s kind of sound. And then after that, we have a selection of, I guess I call them, I forget the actual term, but EF. These could be more used in, you know, more slower music. I tend to use this piano sound quite a lot for smooth jazz. If I'm just relaxing on the side, I might play something like this. All I need then it would be a saxophone, and I'd have what's that one? R&B radio or something on. All right, so those are just like a few of these samples. I could go on and on and on and on about it, but I don't want to bore people too much here. So that's just a lot of those piano samples. And then if we go on, what I really like is after the organs and things like that, we then run into accordion samples, which is really cool in my view, because I like to do a lot of European music. So it will be, if I remember right, the first sample is, yeah. So voice number 36 is kind of, it's more of like a plain, you know, accordion. I'm not sure exactly what it says. I'm sure it shows up on the display for anybody who's interested. But I definitely know the next one is a really cool one. Very French sounding to me. Aujourd'hui, you know, au Paris, you know, I could even play that. Yes, Paris Skies. This is what I like to do, guys, on my free time, just show off these things. It's so fun to do. So that's like a very French-sounding accordion. So the one after that, I would say it's the same sound, but I think they added another octave. So rather than just the one single note, there'll be here, yeah, two octaves there at the same time, but the same actual sound. This next one is, I would say, more, it's a I'd say a mellower accordion. You could use this maybe in Italian music, even, or Russian. I'm just kind of making this up. I could do, what is that one? Katushka there. It's a Russian folk song, of course. My mom would know that very well. Yeah. So those are really pretty much all the accordion samples there. Now we go further, we have a harmonica. So you could use this a lot in blues tunes. So those are, like I said, a lot of the accordion / organ / harmonicas. And then we get into guitars. So this one is the steel string acoustic, which definitely, again, has a very realistic tone to it. I could even fool somebody if this was just audio and they weren't actually looking. I could pretend I'm tuning it. I mean, it sounds to me like the real deal. So I just played all those open strings, well, what would be open strings here. So let's just have fun with it, and then I could play a song pattern, you know, with strumming kind of sounds. So there's steel string, and the one after that we have is a nylon string. So more classical guitar. This could be used a lot more with, I guess, what they call flamenco music. So a lot of Spanish, Mexican music like that could do, you know. And one thing I'm actually fiddling around with is on this left side, there's a pitch bend wheel. And I have to say that that's one of my #1 or #2 favorites of this thing. So if you wanted to, especially because I'm a big jazz person, and I like to do maybe blues or, shoot, even country or Hawaiian music, you could easily mimic that through this pitch bend wheel. So that's with the acoustic. Now, if I really wanted to go to town, I could choose one of these electric guitar samples, which is going to be further up. Let's see here. This could be more of a rock blues. So I could have all kinds of fun with that one. Alright, so enough of that. I'm going to go ahead and sort of demonstrate more of the features on this keyboard because there's a lot to go over. So those are just a few of those samples. So apart from the pitch bend, we have, of course, one of my all-time favorites that I use a lot, the auto accompaniment. And of course, there's every style imaginable on this thing that they've programmed, from 70s and 80s rock to jazz to techno dance to some world music, you know, Spanish, Indian. There's even one Irish rhythm on here, if my memory serves me right. I can kind of demo that real quick. So there's one button on the left here. I'll press that, and we now have auto accompaniment. So now this left-hand part, so there's chords when I play that, but if I hit the kind of fifth button on the left side here, we got a rhythm now. So I can just play around with this. So right here, it kind of sounds like I have a whole band, right, backing me up right here. And what's really cool, most keyboards have these that use auto accompaniment. You can have a built-in intro and ending riff that they create. So with this rhythm here, I'll press the auto accompaniment button first, and then the begin/stop, or ending/riff, I believe, button. And we'll get, because it's not playing anything, we'll hear an intro to bring us into that rhythm. So it's going to sound like this. And then we're in the rhythm. So that's really cool if you wanted to play any kind of song, and then I'll resume the rhythm so we can hear the ending. So let's press the ending button. And that concludes the song, said song there. So that's really neat. This is kind of more of, I guess I could say like a modern kind of slow rock R&B tune. This gets real cool when we get even the next rhythm is 80s, very 80s sounding. Could be Van Halen there, you know? So that's kind of an 80s sound, and then we can get kind of more authentic if we wanted to. I'll go, and I memorize these rhythms and buttons, guys, believe it or not, so I can do some real cool shortcuts. If we go to rhythm 088, this gets into jazz. These are one of my favorites I always like to noodle over. In fact, what I can really do to show this off big time is I'll also select another voice. Right now we're on piano. I'm going to select trumpet, muted trumpet. So I'll hit voice button and go to voice 102. So right here, you can obviously tell once I start playing, it's really going to sound neat. So we'll press the auto accompaniment on and riff buttons. So we're going to have a little swing going on here. Here we go. Oh, yeah. See, that was cool, right? All right. So that was sort of the swing here. And before I go any further, I will mention this. If that maybe wasn't anyone's cup of tea, like that was kind of a, I didn't like that particular swing, you can choose other options too. I believe there is 5 or 6 different swing rhythms just in that category. They separate these out. When I was going through the user guide for this keyboard, and same with this other one next to me, they divide all these rhythms into categories. Jazz, rock, country, ballroom. They're more general categories, but within them there's multiple rhythms, which is really neat. I always like that. So, okay, this is more of a slower swing if I think with this one. Nice. So, that was kind of a more bluesy swing there. Yeah, so I can just go through all these little rhythms here and just show them off. Or ballad here. So now I'm not going to waste everybody's time by going through each and every one here, but these are the highlights that I like. In the sense that you can really get a lot out of this thing. Really cool stuff. So I'm thinking one of the last things I'm going to show off here, if we go higher up here with the rhythms, one that I really like, not all keyboards have this. That's the thing. It's a kind of a Hawaiian, excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Hawaiian kind of shuffle. Or Hawaiian dance, if you will. It is rhythm 171 on here, so there we go. Like I said, not all keyboards have this, but it's really neat. You want to go aloha to everybody, and I'll go ahead and actually put on the slide guitar. What voice is that? 0, 4, 6. Yes. So here we go with Hawaiian. Oh yeah. What's that one song now? The Hawaiian wedding song. Was that Hawaiian or what? Oh, yes. And honestly, guys, just a side note, but given what we're about to experience weather-wise here in Virginia, where I am, I want to be in Hawaii right about now. So, anyway, that's sort of a breakdown of the DGX 660. It's a wonderful keyboard. Definitely great if you really want the bells and whistles. But again, as far as if anyone had any questions about transport, I would probably limit that if possible. This is a very bulky keyboard. Didn't get specs on it. I'm sure they're in the user guide, but I hadn't really read them out. But yeah, it's a very bulky, heavy keyboard, so home use would be the best way. And obviously having a stand like this is, it's assembled on the stand and everything. So the next video, I'm going to go ahead demonstrate the YPG 235. So I hope everybody enjoyed that sort of demo / review of the DGX 660 keyboard. I will go ahead and sign off. I will have to pause this.
Camera choose. Stop recording. Stop record.
Hey guys, so I'm using VoiceOver on my phone, so that's what we heard here. But I wanted to do a video of demonstrating two of my most favorite Yamaha keyboards and sort of just demoing them. Right now I am sitting in front of the Yamaha DGX 660 portable grand piano. I'm in my bedroom right now, so I'm sure probably the lighting and other things are, well, there's not even really lighting in here, so I apologize for anyone who's viewing that's sighted. I'm sure the quality is probably not good, but I really wanted to just show off these two keyboards and really just, like I said, demonstrate how fabulous they are. So the Yamaha DGX 660 is a full 88 key piano. I would definitely say it should be probably restricted to home use. It can be carried around and transported, but it's going to be bulky. I've learned that the hard way already, having carried it around to various locations. I do have a gig bag that's in another room, but all that weight as I'm trying to carry it goes to the arm, so it's very, very heavy. Like I said, better to restrict it to home use. The other one that's beside it in here is the Yamaha YPG 235. Now I'll explain about that one after this one and its uses. So I'm in front of the DGX 660, as I said. I'm going to reset this because the piano itself, there we go. It does take some time to power on. I will sort of quickly go through the advantages and disadvantages of both of these digital keyboards. So obviously, the DGX 660, as most people know who have one or have read about them, are weighted keys. They're hammer action graded keys, so it really does mimic a real acoustic piano. Even though it's a digital piano, electronic piano, I think Yamaha definitely did a great job